Welcome to Living with an Invisible Learning Challenge, where we will discuss and discover the challenges and triumphs of those living with NLD, nonverbal learning disability, and other learning challenges such as autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dysgraphia, and any other invisible learning differences that one may live with. And I like to interview individuals as well who live with various learning challenges. So if you know anybody, please point me their way, or if you are that individual, I would love to interview you on various topics. So please let me know. And I welcome you to this podcast. I wanted to give you guys a little personal update. So the puppies are doing well, and so is Truffle. She is slowly getting more interested in them, and that is good. And I wanted to give another shout out to my Etsy shop, Woven Differently, or the Cozy Neurodivergent Corner. Please check it out. I will put the link in the podcast description for you. And this is to try to raise awareness for neurodivergence and to raise more understanding as well about things that we struggle with. And I hope that you'll be encouraged to make a purchase. If you do and you listen to the podcast, let me know so that I can give you a little bit of a discount. Thanks. And actually, I will be sending out my first sale pretty soon, uh, later in July, and I'm happy about that. So celebrate with me, please. And I'm coming up on my 5th year of doing this podcast on July 17th. So please let me know if there's any feedback you have for me on that podcast. And um, I'll be changing some or updating some things on the website. So if you notice some changes, that's why. And I look forward to hearing back from you. Thanks. Welcome to Living with an Invisible Learning Challenge, the podcast where we delve into the unseen struggles faced by neurodivergent individuals. I'm your host, Jennifer Purcell, and today we're diving into a topic many of us know all too well: the unpredictable, often frustrating journey of finding effective medication. Segment, segment 1: the roller coaster of medication. Imagine starting a new medication and feeling a wave of hope. Your focus sharpens, the world gets quieter, then out of nowhere, that clarity fades. You're left wondering what went wrong. This cycle is familiar one for many living with ADHD and other neurodivergent conditions. In fact, up to 30% of individuals with ADHD don't respond to common stimulants like, I'm not going to even try to pronounce that one. Even when they do work initially, effectiveness can fade. Recent research from the University of Maryland and the NIH gives us new insight. They found that it's not just about how much dopamine a medication like Ritalin boosts, it's also what types of dopamine receptors a person has. People with more D1 receptors showed better performance without the medication, while those with more D2 receptors responded better to it. That means the balance of receptors in your brain could be why a treatment works great for one person but not for the other. Section 2: the research gap. So why is this happening? A big part of it is the lack of long-term inclusive research. Most studies on ADHD medications focus on short-term symptom management, not long-term effects. And many exclude individuals with co-occurring conditions like autism, leaving those of us with overlapping diagnoses without solid guidance. A 2012 review in Brain and Behavior raised concerns about the misuse of stimulant medications. While these drugs can be life-changing for people with ADHD, They are often used by people without a diagnosis hoping for a cognitive edge. The risks, everything from cardiovascular issues to psychiatric side effects, even sudden death. Even more concerning, there's still very little long term data on how these medications affect neurodivergent brains over time. Section 3, the need for personalized approaches. Every brain is different, so why do we treat them the same? Genetics, metabolism, gender, all of these things can influence how a person responds to medication. That's where pharmacogenomics comes in. Researchers at the Cleveland Clinic are studying how genes affect drug metabolism. For example, if you have a certain variant of CYP2D6 gene, you might process antomycin, a non-stimulant ADHD med, more slowly. That could lead to more side effects or no effect at all. Preemptive genotyping could one day help doctors personalize ADHD treatment plans, but we're not quite there yet. More research is needed before this becomes routine. I'll apologize now if I'm mispronouncing some of these terms. They're quite scientific. Section 4, moving forward. What's next? AI may offer a new path forward. A recent international study developed AI tools that can predict how likely someone is to respond well to a class of medication, whether stimulants, antidepressants, or antipsychotics. These tools were tested on thousands of participants from Canada to the US and even validated using real world clinical data. The models showed strong accuracy, especially for predicting responses to antidepressants and antipsychotics. This is huge. It could mean fewer months wasted on medications that don't work and more time living a life that does. But here's the catch. We need more diverse data, more inclusive research, and better awareness. Clinicians should use a holistic lens combining meds, therapy, lifestyle shifts, and personal advocacy and we as individuals have to stay informed, ask questions, and demand care that sees the full picture of who we are. And I want to add here that for me, when with my research that I've done on migraines and NLD and being neurodivergent in general, it has been challenging to find some connection between the two just because there's not that much research out there. But it looks like the connection is that neurodivergent brains, we know they process things differently. So that's probably one connection. Neurodivergent brains are also smaller, so that could be a contribution. And they tend to have less magnesium. That can also contribute to migraines. And the fact that we process things more slowly, I think that's also a contribution because when your brain is processing things slowly, you take more time and therefore it probably affects your emotions and your processing speed and everything else. So you can uh you can have more I guess build up a pressure or build up a stress in your life is what I'm trying to say. Um and Anyways, for me, I know that when I have a sudden change in my life or a change, even if it was a change I was expecting, like for example, I'm taking care of two new puppies and there's a lot of lack of sleep with them because of potty training them, which I knew was expected. And so the migraines are worse, and I knew that was going to happen. But at least I'm leaning on my family more, and that is helping a lot. And I'm learning a lot also because I'm going back to some old methods that I hadn't used in a while to help the migraines, and I think that's a good thing. And so the fact that I'm doing that, I think, is good. And I am glad that I am trying chronic pain therapy because I'm learning more about myself and the migraines that I think if I hadn't tried that, I wouldn't have known if it actually would have worked. And I'm glad that I am trying new things because I know I've probably said this before, but if you don't try, you're never going to know if it actually is going to work or not. So it's a good thing to try new things. And before I go into that, I thought I would address that this election is going to be very important, and I am not telling you how to vote. I'm just encouraging you to vote. If you are 18 years old or older, I encourage you to vote and to do a lot of research so that you are informed on what you're voting on and that you are able to I guess, do well with the voting process and be informed on it. Um, and I am also an ambassador for the NVLD project, and then NVLD project is trying to get the NVLD back on the DSM, which is a manual for mental and learning disabilities, and it helps people get accommodations in school and in life by defining what the disability is and how it affects you in life, and by showing examples and evidence of it, and by giving a clear definition of it. So that's what the DSM is, and they're trying to get NVLD back in there. And in order to do that, they renamed NVLD to developmental visual spatial disorder. I always forget the D. My hope is that when they do that, they will list all the symptoms, because nonverbal wasn't a very good name for it either, but neither is developmental visual spatial disorder, because it's not just developmental and visual spatial. It's also the social, which nonverbal doesn't have either. So it's like my name that I've kind of developed for it, which I'm not sure if it's very good either, is invisible learning spectrum disorder. But I don't know if that's very good either. So anyways, and this podcast is also supported by Patreon and Spotify and BetterHelp. So BetterHelp is a therapy company that does therapy online and remotely. I have not used BetterHelp, but I know they're very good, and I have been in therapy for more than 8 years. I think 8.5. I'm not doing it currently, but I was doing it last year, and it was very helpful for me when I was doing it online and remotely. It was very helpful for me. It was able to change a lot of things in my life and make my life better. So if you want a discount for BetterHelp, I'll include the link for that. And Patreon is a way for me to give you the episodes without any ads, like I'm doing right now. And I give you access to transcripts as well, and to the episodes without any ads. So if you want that, it's either $5 for the episode without any ads, or $10 with the transcript. I know that might seem like a lot of money, but I'm not really not doing it for the money. I'm trying to do it so I can donate the money to the NBLD project, or so I can do it to pay back on my website subscription fee. So, um, if you're willing to do that, please do. I will give the link for that as well in the description. And I also have podcast swag. I will get the link for that as well. T-shirts and water bottles and tote bags and other pretty cool stuff. So I will give the link for that as well. See for yourself if they work or not. Um, I know sometimes you may feel like you're a hamster on a hamster wheel that just doesn't end, but hopefully you will find the right combination or cocktail of things that work for you. And when it gets challenging, remind yourself that you do have some things that work for you, whether it's for NLD, migraines, or whatever you have that is challenging. That's what I try to do. And maybe go back to some of the basics and see if they still work. Sometimes that's more simple and more free too, actually, because basic things I still use. Hot water for my head helps, peppermint tea, chamomile tea, and those things don't cost as much as prescriptions or a trip to the doctor or whatever, because you don't have to factor in gas or electrical charge to go see them. So maybe make a list uh, of things that work for you, and I would categorize it as, okay, these are medical things, meaning you have to have a prescription for it or you have to go to the doctor to get it. And then these are natural things, meaning it's natural, meaning it's from nature or it's a natural remedy or basic things. So, for example, for me, a medical thing would be Botox or Vyepti or Verapamil or Emetitin or Benadryl um, or Topiramate. Natural would be the migraine relief tea I use, peppermint oil, hot showers, chamomile tea, peppermint tea. Um, I would say sleep is natural. Journaling is a good natural one. Screaming into a pillow is a good natural one. I've done that before. Venting to a friend is a good one, especially if they're ones that have migraines, then they'll understand better. Or if they've had chronic pain, then they'll know what you're talking about. Um, and basic and natural can kind of be interchangeable, so you can put some of them in the same category. Exercise for me actually can help the migraines. I know for some people it exacerbates them. Everybody's different. So, like I noticed, sorry guys, but I noticed when I'm on my period, I have a lot of lower back pain and I'm very bloated and the migraines go up and I have a little bit of cramps. But I noticed when I'm doing my Pilates board exercises, um, because it does a lot of movement with the legs and the lower back, it helps free up that pain and it helps get rid of most of it, if not all of it. And that helps a lot. Um, and if I sound like I'm mumbling right now, that's because I've been getting basically 6 hours, 6.5 hours of sleep every night. So my head is pounding right now. So I'm doing the best I can with this episode. But basically, some links for this episode are from New Atlas on Dopamine Receptors, Brain and Behavior Review from PubMed, Cleveland Clinic on pharmacogenetic. I'm not going to even try to say that one. And then AI medication prediction study research from ResearchGate. So thank you for joining me on Living with Invisible Learning Challenge. If today's episode resonated with you, please subscribe and share by talking about these invisible struggles we make them visible, and together we can push for a future where treatment is truly personalized and inclusive.
I hope that episode was well worth it for you to listen to and that you were able to take something away from it, even if you don't have a learning challenge, or if you do. I hope it was extra worthwhile for you so that you are able to learn something and maybe journal and jot down some few takeaways so that the next time you experience that challenge yourself, you're able to um, learn how to breathe through it more easily, or maybe not have a meltdown or a tantrum, or be able to take away more learning from it and not make the same mistake twice, and be able to also help somebody else go through that experience if you have a friend who has a learning difference and you are neurotypical. So I hope you will be able to have those some experiences in your life now that you have listened to this episode.